Hi everybody, this is Vicki from the Paper Connection. Thanks for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I wanted to share a card with you today. This is a cute little birthday card, and don't you think this frog is just adorable? Well, I'm going to show you how we're going to make it today. Okay, so we're going to start out with lemon lime twist. I'm going to make this card a little bit different than I did the other card. And don't worry about the dimensions. I'm going to have that all listed below the video. Okay, so I've already pre-cut everything, and I am going to just burnish it. Now you'll notice that I used the green and white stripe paper here. This is from the Broadway Bound Specialty Designer Series paper, and it's in our annual catalog. And there's just all sorts of different kinds of patterns, and the thing about our paper is that it's double-sided, so it's very good quality, but it's double-sided. So you know, here you've got a little bit more mature type paper, but yet still party, and then on this side you have just a fun party kind of paper. And so that's we're going to do it just a little bit differently today, and then when we're done we'll just let you decide which one you like the best. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to these panels. Okay, I already have my pieces pre-cut. I used the stitched ovals from our framelit section, and I'll tell you, these are wonderful because they not only come in ovals, but they come in squares and circles as well. And this is from the oval, well, it's called Layering Ovals Framelits dies. And see how many, there's just a huge amount of them here. And some of them have a solid ring around them, and then some of them are solid edge, and then some of them have a scalloped edge around them. And they nest and layer. They're perfect for just adding fun to your card. We're going to use our little froggy, and I've already mounted him onto a clear mount stamp, and I'm going to use Memento ink. Just going to tap, 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 tap. I see people at classes that will take their stamp and they will press it really hard down into the ink pad, and that's just not necessary. It'll end up causing excess ink on your project, and it'll make a big mess, and you'll have to start over. Okay, so at this point I'm going to use my stamping blends, and I'm going to use, these came in pairs, and it's the dark greeny apple green and the light greeny apple green. And if you'll notice, there's a heavier line here and then a thinner line here. So what that means is that you're going to have a smaller tip on this side. So I'm just going to kind of go around and outline them. You don't want to get too close to the edges of where you're going, because it does have alcohol in it and it will tend to spread a little bit. But they blend so incredibly well. Okay, so we got all of that done. What we're going to do next is we're going to create our cupcake. This is using the piece of cake stamp set. It comes with a punch. I'll show you in the catalog. This is in our occasions catalog, which is our spring and summer. This is the piece of cake stamp set. Comes with a variety of different type of cakes, flowers, lollipops, candles, and a lot of cute sentiments. And if you decide to get the punch with it, then you get 10% off if you purchase it in a bundle, and that would be $31.50. It's so fun. I've used it so many times. And during the month of January to the end of March, we have a thing called the Sale-A-Bration. I'm taking a brief intermission here just to kind of share this with you while it's on my mind, but during these months, for every $50 that you spend, then you get an item for free out of the Sale-A-Bration catalog. The other stamp set that I'm using today is called So Hoppy Together. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know how many frog cards that I would make. I didn't know how or if I would like them or use them. It just seemed kind of silly. I use them all the time. They make such fun cards, and you can see in the picture how you can use them in many different ways. But this stamp set I got for free. Okay, what I did ahead of time, I punched out the cake and the stand so that I could kind of get a guide of where I would need to place my stamp set. I don't know if you can really see that very well, but you place your stand right in here, and then you place your cake right in here, and you do it with the images upside down. You take your block and you just press it down like that, lift it up, and it's all mounted on your stamp ahead of time. Okay, so I'm just going to ink that up. Just tap it a few times. I'm going to stamp it down on my paper. So what I'm going to do next, before I cut it out, I am going to color it. So I'm going to use these markers. The next thing I'm going to use is my punch. I love how these punches work. They are flat and they have a little button at the bottom that you just push it forward and then it expands. Well, you know what I did? I actually did it on the wrong side of the paper, so the wrong edge of the paper. So I'll just trim that off and I'll take it down like this. And I see that I got out of the lines a little bit, but it's okay. You know what? It's handmade. It's not Hallmark, right? Okay, just like that. And it's designed so that you can see the image while you're punching it out. And then when you're done, you just close it and it lays flat so that it doesn't take up so much room. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Wink of Stella. This is such a fun thing. It's a paintbrush that has glitter in it, and you just paint it along the surface. Okay, so we're done with that. And basically what we want is for Mr. Froggy to be holding the cake platter. So what we're going to do next, I'm going to take my U-Pick tool. This is a great tool because you can you have like a little spatula on the end there, or you can have a paper piercing, and then you also have a little putty dispenser on the other side. It also comes with a tip that you can score. Let me get my words right, gosh. Okay, these are our Stampin' Dimensionals, and they come in two sizes. This is the mini, and we also have the larger ones. But I'm working with a smaller surface, and so I don't want huge ones on there. So I'm going to take 3. And so then I'm going to just we're going to put the cake platter on Mr. Frog's hand. We're going to let him hold on to that cake platter. I don't know if you can see the glitter from it. Yeah, there you go. Isn't that cool? I love the Wink of Stella. It's so cool. Alrighty. Now we'll just set our cake right there. We'll just set it right there on top where that white area is. Isn't that cute? Alrighty, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. And I'm going to do that in Lemon Lime Twist. So you'll notice that the Lemon Lime Twist matches the designer's cupcake holder there in the designer series paper, or the DSP, and the pins that I use match the lovely lipstick that's also in the cakes there. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just banner. I'm going to cut this one off in a blunt fashion, and this side I'm going to trim it just a little bit, and then I'm going to create a banner. And how you do that is you go to the middle of your paper, and then you go from corner to that middle piece that you clipped, and then you go from the other corner to that middle piece that you clipped, and then you have yourself a little banner. Isn't that cute? All right, so now we're also going, while we're doing all of that, we're going to adhere Mr. Frog to our scalloped oval. And I don't know if you can see the ink bled through, because it is alcohol based. It dries very quickly, but you notice I have some on my grid paper. So if you need to be careful whenever you're using it, that you don't have it on something that you're going to be using, because it will bleed through. Okay, so let's put a dimensional on the back of this one, and I'm only going to put it on one side because it's only going to be half off the oval and onto the card. You only want to put glue on half of your oval, and then you'll just lay it down, and then you'll just lay it in place. Now if it shifted, it's okay, because with our Tombow, look, I got it perfect. Maybe it can come down a little. With our Tombow glue, you've got room to wiggle things around a little bit. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue right there on our banner. Take the back of the dimensional off. We'll place it just like that. Okay, now I'm going to add a few glitter enamel dots. The reason why I added them before, because there was some negative space here, you know, that didn't have anything, but it was also because I got a smudge of ink right there. And the one thing that I have learned in stamping is it's not the end of the world if you get ink or smudge or whatever. Just put an embellishment on it. And so I have really learned to embrace embellishments, and some of my mistakes that I've made have been, I forget what exactly it is Bob Ross calls it, happy accidents. They're not mistakes, they're happy accidents. I think that's what he says. And that's a good way to look at it. Okay, so basically what I'm doing now is you want to do your embellishments in like an odd number, and you usually try to want to make a triangle out of it. Alrighty, so now we're going to do the inside and then we'll be done. Isn't it such a cute card? What we're going to use here on the inside, one of these cakes says happy birthday on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and we are going to use our lemon lime twist. There we go. And we've got our little birthday cake. Now the other thing I'm going to use is a cute little sentiment that says, hope your day or your year is a piece of cake. And I'm going to place that right up under that. Just like that. And I see I got my head in the picture. The secret's out. You see now I have white hair. Okay, we're going to glue that down. I don't use a heavy hand whenever I'm using my glue. There we go. Isn't that cute? Okay, here's two cards. They're basically the same. All I did was I used a different piece of the designer series paper. You'll have to tell me what you think. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. If you'd like a catalog, I would love to send one out to you. Just contact me. You can either email me or you can leave me a note at the bottom on my YouTube, and I will be happy to get a catalog out to you. If you liked the video, then leave me a comment. If you really liked it, then hit subscribe, and then you'll know when my next video comes out. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a great day.